Why do we never refer to plus size women as having nice bodies? We need to unpack that. Okay, we need to arrive at the terminal and like grab our luggage and like take stuff out and like unfold and dissect it, because what does that even mean? Like, I'd actually like to know. Hello lovely folks, my name is Lauren and welcome to my channel where I discuss pop culture, social issues, and anything swimming around in this here brain of mine. If you're new here, I love to see it. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. A lot goes on down there. It's a fun time. And leave a comment, okay, so we can get to know each other, okay? We gotta connect. I post videos once a week, so turn on post notifications so you don't miss a thing. I have been gone for literally like a whole millennium. It's been a long time, okay? These past couple of months that I have not posted have been very helpful for me, I would say. I've done a lot of reflecting, I've done a lot of self-evaluation, and I feel like a lot of growth too. It was a lot, it was hard, but I definitely think that it was helpful and I am coming out a better person, hopefully. A lot has happened, so I just needed to take some time, a little hiatus, a sabbatical, if you will. I also wanted to space out a little bit of the time between my like normal or like old content between this new type of video I'm doing. So I am starting my like commentary style journey, I guess. So this is the first video of many that I'll be discussing sort of my thoughts that I've been having and ranting about to my dog and myself for months now, and decided that I should actually start speaking to actual people about. That being said, without further ado, let's get into this video. Over my past few months of reflection, I've had a lot of time to think about beauty and how it relates to the world that I'm living in, and also just me, myself, and I just have a lot of thoughts, and I don't know if they're necessarily like unpopular or what, but I definitely think that they're things that I would like to start a conversation about. So here we go. Thought number one. I wish that there wasn't such a stigma around girls who decide to get cosmetic surgery done. Now, I know, a little controversial. I'm not a fan of plastic surgery because I think that it plays on a lot of women's insecurities and is inherently classist, just because plastic surgery is very difficult to be accessed and it's very, very expensive. So I'm really mostly talking about celebrities here, because I know like the average person probably can't even like afford sort of like plastic surgery and things of that nature. I just feel like if any woman chooses to change her body, she shouldn't be considered any less beautiful. Take Beyonce for instance, okay? She has that classic hourglass figure, and is known, among other things obviously, for her natural sculpted curves. If Beyonce came out, which she does, she really truly minds her own business. We love to see it. I aspire to be everything that she is, okay? Because literally she just minds her own business. It stays in her bag, stays in her family, and just lets people talk. But if she were to come out and say, I got a BBL done, which is a Brazilian butt lift if you don't know what that means, or I got a boob job done, literally the internet would lose it. And by it, I mean their damn minds, okay? The Twitter trolls would get out, they would crawl under from out wherever cave they are in and just start ragging on her, I'm sure. And it would be a catastrophe, literally, like for days, probably even weeks on trending. So now that she's got a BBL, You know, before you admired all of her curves or whatever, all of that, like, yes, queen. Now you're saying, oh, well, she gotta be built. Like, you know, why does it matter? Okay, why? Here's the thing. I understand if a woman is actively putting down other girls for not getting surgery, or if they are appropriating the traditional features of Black women and just women of color, not giving them any credit, or just like doing it in general. I just feel like that's not okay. Or they are promoting an altered body as the ideal or like the only form of beauty. We don't want any of that, obviously. But otherwise, if they're just trying to change parts of themselves to be confident, and because that is something that they want to do and there's no sort of ulterior motive and no sort of damage really being done, they're just doing it as a confidence booster, leave them alone, please. When people say, oh, well, they got a boob job done, so it's almost like you're invalidating their beauty. Like, just because they got work done, that doesn't mean that they now are no longer beautiful, or that their beauty is now lesser than anyone else who has not gotten surgery. Those things are now part of their body, so you are essentially saying that they, as a person, are no longer beautiful, or they are less than because they added these things to their body, when they're really just like enhancements. And that goes for makeup too, because here's the thing, I freaking hate it when people are like, oh, they're only pretty with makeup. Like, that's kind of the point. People can be pretty without makeup too, but just decide that they want a more polished look, and that's okay. Or they might just like wearing makeup because it's fun. I'm wearing makeup right now because it's been like 2 months since I have done anything to my face. I wanted to because I can. Okay, there's quite absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you can only appreciate someone who's constantly made up, then you've been on the internet for too long. Because if you were consistently interacting with people in real life who weren't always made up or weren't always enhanced, then you would see that they can still be attractive even with acne, even with like hyperpigmentation and red splotches and all that other stuff. They can still be attractive in real life, because number one, you're probably seeing them in their more authentic forms, which can tend to be more attractive. And two, you're seeing other parts of them other than their face. So the way that they walk, the way that they talk, the way that they interact with people, personal and emotional attributes, not just their physical ones. I used to find myself doing this a lot. I used to be like, well, my curves are natural, so, you know, and she got her job done, so, just to make myself feel better. But that is such a toxic way of thinking, because first of all, you're putting someone else down, you're putting it on another woman, which obviously kill that. That's your first mistake. And then two, it's such a short-lived reassurance, because you will find someone in your life sooner or later who also hasn't gotten any work done, but still looks better than you. What are you gonna do then? It's such a vicious cycle, because then you're like, well, they didn't get work done, and they're like a little prettier than me, but they wear makeup all the time, so no. Or, well, I'm like here, they're like, no, kill that. Kill it all. Deceased. Electric chair. We could be talking about so many other things, like hobbies, business, music, and even just who we are as women in general. I'm not saying that beauty is not a part of that. Like, I will still constantly like hype another girl up about, like, be like, girl, that hair, like, you look bomb today. You're looking very fly. I don't know when the last time somebody used the word fly unironically, probably in the last 2 decades, but I'm sorry. I'm bringing it back, okay? Your hair is looking fly. Yes, no flyaways, it's fly. Or I'll just be like, oh, your outfit, like, I love it. You know what I mean? So I'm still gonna do that, but I'm just saying, like, I also know at the same time that we are so much more than our bodies, and that our bodies are not the only metric for beauty. Another thing, can we stop saying everyone is beautiful, or like, you know, you're fine or whatever, when people are crying, venting, or just in their feelings about the way that they look? I feel like this is more of like a personal thing. I've had a lot of self-esteem issues just growing up, and then also like now I still do a little bit. And I feel like whenever I have those times where I'm like, oh, like, you know, or just crying literally over it, for me, when someone's like, oh, like, you're beautiful, like, it's okay, like, da da da, or like snap out of it, that type of thing. Everyone's beautiful in their own way. It triggers an allergic reaction within me. Okay, I'm really about to go and buy an EpiPen at this point. Like, especially when it's coming from someone who aligns with like the American Eurocentric beauty standards. Obviously, everyone has their insecurities, even if they are within the beauty standards, but it can just seem a little disingenuous when someone is literally model-esque and they're telling you not to feel like crap about yourself. Like, make it make sense, please. Make it make sense. At least wait until the person is out of the rut that they're in and then reason with them. But I feel like just being there and acknowledging their feelings and just being there for them physically or just whatever, like offering yourself as like, hey, I'm here for you, instead of just getting them to immediately be like, yes, I am the one. Come on now. It's kind of hard for them to do that when they're literally like down in the actual dumpster. So just acknowledging their feelings and trying to make them feel a little bit better in the moment is sometimes all that they need, at least from my experience. We need to stop calling women by their bodies, okay? And what I mean by this is, even if you're complimenting them, just saying like, you're an hourglass, or you are a 10, like the number 10. It's just like, or one that I really, really despise that, again, makes me just break out in actual hives. You're a dime piece. First of all, why just a dime? 10 cents? Am I not a $100 bill? Number one. And number two, piece? That's another term that someone has used unironically since like 1990. But that one we don't like. We love fly, but not a dime piece. It's just weird. Like, oh, she's my dime piece. Like, ugh. Comparing a woman to currency is just not something that you should be doing. Like, I just don't like that. Just in general, try saying you have an hourglass figure instead, or like, you have this attribute and I really like it, or you're really pretty. You know what I mean? By doing that in a small way, we give women the ability to own their bodies instead of the other way around. Just a suggestion, okay? Dime piece. This one's another, like, I guess hot take. Not really a hot take, it's just like common sense. But like, why do we never refer to plus size women as having nice bodies? We need to unpack that. Okay, we need to arrive at the terminal and like grab our luggage and like take stuff out and like unfold and dissect it, because what does that even mean? Like, I'd actually like to know, because when I think of nice as an adjective, 9 times out of 10, it's either to describe someone's personality or some sort of inanimate object, like a purse. Like, girl, that's a nice Michael Kors bag, like, or Birkin, whatever. I don't know anyone who's rich enough to own a Birkin. I think we need to evaluate that and the subliminal message that thin or slim, thick bodies are what everyone aspires to have and are therefore considered nice. Take for instance like Ariana Grande. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, she has a nice body. Yes, she does, beautiful woman. But then there's Lizzo. I think she's a banging woman. She's got a banging body. Lovely. I love her. Okay. But I follow her on TikTok and literally she has no end of comments, a wealth of comments of just like people saying terrible, terrible things about her body. And I'm just like, damn. This is what we've come to. Truly. I just don't appreciate it. Like, it's just weird. So she has a nice body and she does not. So that implies something. There is an implication there that nice is only in the context of slim. So I feel like we should either do one of two things. We should either just kill the term nice like when referring to someone's body or just looks in general, or we should broaden the context of what a nice body is. Because I both think that Lizzo has a nice body, and so does Ariana Grande and everyone in between. And I'm not invalidating the beauty of anyone, but I do feel like women who are plus size like models still have that sort of like ideal figure, and I feel like they're still considered as having nice bodies. I'm talking about women who have roles, who have like stretch marks, who have all these things. Pretty much all women have stretch marks, but I'm talking about like just in general, women who clearly have more weight on them visibly. Like, I think we should broaden that to being all women having nice bodies. And then I guess at that point it would just be like, what would be the point of saying I have a nice body? Because all women have nice bodies. So it's just like, I don't know. I just think it's weird. It's weird. So this is like a little anecdote. This is my last point, thought, whatever. I remember going into Aeropostale when I was young. I was probably like age 10 with my sister. She was obsessed with Aeropostale at this point. And I remember looking through and remembering even as a child that I could not wear 95% of their clothes. I remember like looking at my thigh and looking at those capri pants, those god-awful capri pants that were in style back then, and it being like, my thigh, half of my thigh will not fit into one leg. It probably won't even come up above my calves at this point. I'm pretty sure all they went up to was like a size 12, okay? Like, I just remember looking at all this stuff and being like, wow, I probably cannot wear any of this stuff. And I was literally prepubescent, and that said a lot. Like, I mean, granted, I was pretty developed at age 10, but still, like, a literal child cannot wear any of this. I really could only wear, like, the shirts that my sister handed me down. We've been seeing a lot of brands lately coming out with these ads saying, we offer these sizes now, and, like, these clothes were made for you no matter who you are. You know, I don't know what that voice was. I don't really think that it's genuine. I'm just gonna say it right now. And I'm not calling out like any specific brand. I like Aeropostale, cute clothes, whatever, a lot of nostalgia for them, whatever. But I'm just saying, I use that as an example, like brands and like that in general, like those types of like teenage brands and like trendy brands. A lot of it's trying to save face. But I have mixed feelings because I do think that brands evolve with the times and with their audience. I'm taking this class right now called Social Media and Audience Strategy, and we've been talking about brand voice and its correlation with audience. And I just personally feel like it would be a lot more meaningful or helpful if these brands would issue a full statement instead of still just being money-minded and like just making a couple of ads here and there in the name of inclusivity. Like even a full campaign would be better. Like, you know, just to show that you really care. Dove, I feel like, does a really good example of this, like with their whole like Real Beauty or whatever, like campaign that they've had over a course of years. So you can tell that it seems genuine. I won't mention some of the snafus that Dove has had, but I'm just saying that's one good example. Like I said before, brands do evolve with their audience and, you know, usually try to appeal to what their customers and consumers want. But skinny is still the beauty standard, so it's not like they would have lost a significant amount of customers if they'd continued to only market for and make clothes for slim people. So it's good to see them making an effort. But like I said, it's still difficult to tell whether or not it's just to cover their bases or because they're realizing how exclusive they were in their sizing and are fixing it genuinely. We'll never really be able to know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like, you could have been doing this for years, but then like years ago, like in the early 2000s, we didn't really have these like body positivity movements. So it's like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Like, just make, you know, what do you think? That brings us to the end. Those are my beauty thoughts. I probably will continue to have several beauty thoughts, I'm pretty sure. I feel like I think about these things a lot. I just wanted to kind of start like a discourse and kind of see what other people are thinking about it. Because I know some of the things that I said were a little unpopular, I'm sure, or just like hot takes, I guess, like the plastic surgery one. I'm sure that always sparks some sort of debate. So let me know in the comments. If you disagree, then I would love to hear your take on it, on just beauty in general, whether there are things that I said in this video that you want to discuss, or just things that are outside of this and are just generally in the realm of beauty and what is considered beautiful. I would love to hear it. Let's discuss, okay? Hope you liked this new style. I have so many new ideas and like upcoming videos that I'm thinking about that I think you guys will really like. If you really did truly enjoy it, physically like it with that like button down below. And thank you so much for watching. That's it for me. Bye guys.